Hi everyone, it's Taylor here, and today we're going to make these fun cards that might remind you of that fun conversation candy that's popular at Valentine's Day. I'll be starting with the conversation candy stamp and stencil combo. You'll stamp the words with the rubber stamp and then use the coordinating stencils to blend the different colors of hearts over the top. We've included the alignment squares to make it easy to line up the stencils over your stamped image, and then you'll find the coordinating die has the same alignment squares to allow you to cut out all of the hearts at once. I have the On the Block Love with the coordinating shadow die, and I'll be using Building Blocks Love Editions with the coordinating die for that. I also have my super heavyweight A2 layer panels, and for my blended candy hearts, I'll be using several colors of ink. I have potato chip and lemon meringue, cupcake and strawberry milkshake, macaron and dried fig, and sprinkles and cookie monster. I'll be using my Just Press tool across the lid of my MISTI for even pressure, and for embossing I have Versamark, my powder tool, and the Lollipop Sparkle embossing powder. I also have VersaFine Clair and my super useful teal tape. So I'm going to start by setting that background stamp into my MISTI. I am using my powder tool across the cardstock to reduce any of the static that might be on the cardstock so that when I stamp this with Versamark and cover it with my Lollipop embossing powder, the embossing powder will only stick to the areas that are stamped with the Versamark. So you can see this really pretty embossing powder has the sparkle built right into it, and it's made to match our Lollipop cardstock and ink. Once I've heated it, I used a clean cloth to buff over the cardstock and remove any excess powder that might be on it. Now you can see I have the stencil layers that I'm going to line up with those alignment squares that are part of the stamp. I'm starting with the lightest color, in this case potato chip, and then I'm going to use my bitty blender brush to add a little bit of the darker color lemon meringue in the bottom corners of each of the hearts. For the second layer, I'll use cupcake and strawberry milkshake, starting with the lightest color on all of the hearts, and then continuing again with my bitty blender brush and the strawberry milkshake, which is a little bit darker pink. For the third and final layer, I want to achieve two different colors on this layer, so I'm starting with the lighter sprinkles color and selecting a few of the hearts within the background and then highlighting them with my bitty blender brush and Cookie Monster. Then I'll continue with the other hearts that I haven't yet covered, and I'm starting with the macaron and then highlighting with the darker dried fig ink. You'll see that that gives me 4 total colors in my background, and you can really see the fun sparkle in those words that were embossed with the Lollipop embossing powder. Now I'm going to line up the die using the alignment squares as a guide. I'll run that through my die cut machine and it will cut out all of the full hearts from the background, so I have lots of colored hearts to use. Now I've chosen 6 different colors of cardstock, and I'm going to cut out some plain hearts using that same die and all 6 different colors of cardstock. So I have some hearts that are stamped and some that are plain cardstock. Now I've chosen a piece of gray cardstock and I'm cutting the same die. I'm planning to use this as a template, so the color of the cardstock doesn't really matter. I'm going to punch out all of those hearts and then line it up over the top of my super heavyweight panel. I'm going to tape it down with my teal tape, and that's going to serve as a template for a spot to put those hearts within. I've laid my sentiment approximately where I plan to put it, and I'm putting little foam pieces inside some of the hearts so that some of them are popped up, and then some of them I will use my liquid adhesive and just adhere them within the openings. Once I've chosen a heart for all of the spots, then I can remove my gray template and cut the excess hearts off of the edges, and you can see we have a super fun background. This is going to stretch your cute candy hearts even further by allowing you to use some that are plain and some that have words on them. Now I've conditioned my sugar cube cardstock and I'm stamping the love twice, and then I'll cover that with the Lollipop Sparkle embossing powder and heat emboss that. I love the look of this embossing powder with the sparkle in it, but don't forget to go ahead and buff your cardstock when you're finished. It really adds a lot of luster back to your project once you wipe off that excess powder. Now I'm going to stamp the Building Blocks Love with VersaFine Clair ink and then die cut that with the coordinating die. These are all words and phrases that can be combined with the large word love. We're going to cut those out with the coordinating die as well, punch out all the sentiments, and then put our cards together. So the love is going to go at the top, and you can choose whatever sentiments you like. I'm going to do you plus me, love, and love you to pieces. I'll be popping the words love up with my foam squares and then adding a little bit of foam tape to the back of the sentiment strip as well. Once the card panels are finished, the last step is to choose a coordinating card base color, and why not Lollipop to match the embossing powder. I'm going to adhere those to my top folding Lollipop card bases, and I've got 2 great cards and lots of hearts left over to create more. Hopefully this gives you a unique idea for using our Conversation Candy stamp and stencil. You can find all of these products at the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com.